my job is every day is I am kind of like the guy that coordinates things with our mayor and city council and our city manager. It's my responsibility to make sure that all of our firefighters at the station have the tools and that they need, the training that they need to do their job, and then just the opportunity to get out there and do it. So I go over to City Hall and essentially I ask for money. So we can buy fire trucks and we can buy fire hose and we can get good structural firefighting gear and all the things that they need to do their job.
How do you know when there's a fire?
So when we go over there, I'll get them to set the alarm off, but usually a citizen will call 911 and tell 911 that there's a fire or some other emergency, and they'll do what they call drop a tone. And it sets off a big alarm next door that lets us know, and the alarm will sound, and it's loud enough that if we're asleep it wakes us up, or if we're doing something that gets our attention, and then after that alarm goes off they tell us what the emergency is and where it's at so we can get to it.
What happens when you get a call?
So when we get a call, the guys will hear it, they'll come downstairs and they've got their gear and all set up in the bay, usually near the trucks. They'll jump into their gear, get suited up, hop on the truck and go to wherever that emergency is.
How do you put out a fire?
With lots of people and lots of water.
What do you wear to stay safe?
So we wear what's called structural firefighting gear. And I'll show you some when we get over there. I might even let you put some on and see how it feels. But it's coat, pants, boots, a hood, helmet, and gloves. They're made out of a special material called Nomex. It's a fire-resistant material that you can actually put a flame up to it for about 17 seconds before it even starts to char and break down.
So it's like, it protects you from the fire?
Correct.
How do you drive the fire truck so fast?
Well, really, we don't drive them that fast. We don't go, I know, it's a crazy question, and people think that we just go fast, but the trucks are so big, then they take up a lot of space, that we're allowed to drive them about 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, but no more than that. But usually the average response speed across the country to a fire is about 24 miles an hour.
So you're saying like everybody else thinks it's going fast, but it's going really slow.
That's right. What we do is we turn on our lights and sirens and we hope that people will move out of our way.
What's your average response time?
So what we're seeing, we have two stations, and depending on the call, one station might go or both stations might go. When the station that gets sent first, we're seeing a response time of right around 5 minutes for us to leave the station and then get on scene. Now, if it's one that both stations have to go to, we're seeing, unfortunately, a significant delay in our second station showing up, and it's crazy to me because there's nothing different about Hinesville today that it was, years ago, except for traffic. Right. And traffic is really hurting that second due truck from getting in there on time, and we're actually seeing response times for a full complement on scene of getting to be anywhere between 9 to 11 minutes. Yeah.
Can you save pets from fires too?
Yes, and I'll actually show you some tools we got. So we were able to partner with a company called what's it called? Fido. I think it's Fido is what it's called. I'll confirm it when we get over there. But they send us oxygen masks for dogs and cats. So on Valentine's Day last year, we actually saved three dogs from a structure fire. The people came out, but they couldn't get their dogs out. We were able to go in, bring the dogs out, and give them oxygen with these masks that are specifically made for them. So absolutely.
So you put an oxygen mask so they can breathe in the fire?
That's right. Well, we bring them out of the fire and then we give them oxygen to clean the bad stuff out of their lungs. Do you have a dog?
No. We have one.
Not anymore.
But people that have dogs, I mean, those dogs are just about as important to them as their children. I mean, they're family members, so we want to make sure that we are saving everyone and everything in that house. We do everything that we can to do that.
What do you do if someone is stuck inside a burning building?
So that becomes our first priority, and we will actually go in even without a fire hose, because that's our first priority. So we go in, we know that we're wearing gear and we're breathing clean air with our SCBAs that are going to kind of protect us, and we'll go in immediately and go straight to them. And then we've got all kinds of cool tools too, that if it's quicker and faster, we can actually tear the walls down and get to them than just going through doors. But we make sure that everybody's safe first before we even worry about putting the fire out.
How do you tear the walls down?
I'll show you the tools when we get over next door.
Okay. How do you help people who are hurt?
Well, we do it a bunch of different ways. So all of our guys are trained as first responders. So they have some basic medical training. So we know how to stop bleeding, we know how to splint broken bones, we can administer oxygen if you're having trouble breathing, all the way up to we can do CPR if somebody has cardiac arrest.
What do you do when you're not fighting a fire?
So we have kind of a daily schedule. The fire station is just like our house, so we have to take care of it like it's our house. So we mop floors and we wash trucks and we cook meals and we eat together and do all of that stuff. That's part of our day, but the bulk of it is training, because we have to be good at what we're gonna do. We have to be ready and prepared when there's an emergency. So we have 3 guys in our training division that make sure all of our firefighters on the line are constantly training and constantly getting better at what they're doing, whether it's the medical stuff, whether it's cutting cars or fighting fires. We train all the time. You guys will keep their gear in here organized. Everyone has their own individual locker so they can keep their gear together. And then we've got everybody 2 sets of gear. That was actually one of the first things that we did whenever I made fire chief. So if they were to catch a fire this morning and their gear gets contaminated, they come back in and they can start getting it decon, and they have a clean set of gear to put on, so they don't have to wear that dirty stuff. The hoods and the gloves that they wear, which are typically what gets the nastiest, we carry on our battalion chief vehicle Tupperware crates that have clean hoods and clean gloves in them, so we can actually swap those out immediately on the fire scene when they're done. Okay. And that's one of the cancer initiatives that we're trying to do. We've got a special washing machine right there that's called an extractor, and that along with the soap that we use is supposed to get it. It's not perfect, but it's supposed to get it. It's going to get a lot more of those contaminants out than just a normal washing machine. That gear in there, the suit, the pants, and the coat and the helmet together weigh about 25 pounds. Then you put your SCBA on your back, that's another 25 pounds. So you're carrying an extra 50 pounds of weight that you typically don't carry. But you also are exposed to high heat, limited mobility and things like that, just based on the way the gear wears and everything else. So you've got to be in shape and you've got to be able to push. It's not unusual if we have a significant structure fire for us to be working for 4 to 6 hours. And so these guys are constantly working out. And I'll say it, and I've had people come to me and say it, that they look at our guys and they look different than they used to. Like him, he used to weigh like 250 pounds. And I put him on a workout routine, and look at him. So this engine can carry 4 people. Right? The guy that sits in the driver's seat, he drives the truck, and he's the one that comes back here and operates this. He's called an engineer because he's the head of that engine, right? And he's the one that pumps water. So he'll come up there and he'll hook that hose up, that big yellow hose into there, and he'll pull these levers out and make sure he's got water going to the right hose line so the guys can fight fire. If you look in the back of these seats, that's what our SCBA is, a self-contained breathing apparatus. Our area that is compressed air. It's not oxygen, it's the same kind of air that you're breathing right now. It's about 19% oxygen. You get over that, the pure oxygen, to anything higher than that, makes you start feeling a little crazy, and then you act like a girl. Yeah. Way on, put your face up there to it. Gotcha.
Hold on.
Usually a captain.
Daddy wants to sit in the driver's seat.
Oh, wow.
What does this do?
Get that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So up top, that stick right there, that platform, we can go 103 feet up in the air.
I know this isn't now.
Yep. And what ladder trucks do, what the purpose of them, we have the engine, and that's the one that people fight fire off of, right? So our 2 ladder trucks, we've got this tower, and then we've got another ladder out at Station 2. Those typically are the guys that do the extrication if somebody's been in a car crash and they can't get out of their car. They're the guys that cut the cars open so you can get out. They're the ones that open a door if the door is locked. They're the ones that will cut a hole in a roof if we need to vent some of that smoke out of there. They're the workers, they're the grunts, the ones that really get in there and get their hands dirty and tear stuff up. And look at there, right on time, there's our other ladder. New stuff. Yep. Now this is Battalion Chief Sarvis. So he's a battalion chief. He works on shift and he runs both stations. He manages all those guys at both stations. Are you a 16 or a 15 person shift?
I have 15. Actually, my 16th person starting next week.
Okay, so next week we will, May the 1st, we're actually increasing staffing again. So next week he will have 15 people that he is absolutely responsible for. That he has got to make sure that they're in good shape, well rested, well fed, and even better trained. Yep, that's exactly right. And here you go. So now, this one is a special one. We have 3 challenge coins that we give out up here. One of them is just a fire department challenge coin, which is cool to get, but it's just a fire department challenge coin, and lots of people have it. Then we've got one that's for our honor guard. So these are the guys that they'll carry our flags in when we have different ceremonies. They'll work funerals and things like that, and that's a cool one, but we usually only give that to people that are on an honor guard somewhere else, or if they're a family member. But this one, I've only given out 8 of these so far. This will be the 9th one that has ever been given away, and that's to you. It's from the Office of the Fire Chief. All right? It's only really special people that do really special things get this one, okay? There you go. Let's take a picture.